Face to Face. I'm Niresh Aliyatambi. My guest tonight is Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, Executive Committee member of the National People's Power. Welcome, Doctor.
Good evening, Nilesh.
So, Doctor, you've taken a little time off from your campaigning, which is, I gather, in full swing down in the Kalutara district mainly. Would you like to tell us what's going on down there?
Yes, in these days we are launching a campaign, the house by house campaign, and organizing the grassroots level, the people, and conducting grassroots level meetings. Except some, we are contributing to the some national summits and national conventions of NPP. Regarding now, we have conducted the National Summit of Retired Police Officers, and in some areas we are contributing to the youth rallies. Basically, our focus is in my district is to address the people in grassroots level, house by house, basically the canvassing program. So we are expecting to finish it at the end of June. And actually we are going to start the big public rallies aiming the presidential election before August. So the first major meeting will be conducted in Kalutara at the end of June.
Now, Kalutara is a very key district nationwide and especially in the Western Province. Although it's the smallest in the Western Province, it generally is quite vociferous in its in the people's opinions there. So this time, what's the feeling you're getting from the people?
Actually, regarding the vote base, now we have exceeded the 1 million total voters in the Kalutara district. So we can have another parliamentary seat in this time. So up to now we have only 10 seats, but in next general election we will have 11. What is the feeling of the people? Actually, you know that Kalutara district is basically the area with single majority, and there are some Muslim community and the plantation workers. So we are doing our politics in all over the area and all sectors. Their feeling is...
The plantations are the rubber estates mainly.
Rubber and tea. They are nearly 50,000 voters, and in Muslim community nearly 100,000. We are addressing all the people except in a not regarding the base religion and the ethnic. So we are addressing their basic needs, and we are proposing our solutions.
Right.
What we are going to do in next 5 years. I think most of the people are accepting our solution and our political culture, what we are going to, how we are going to change the country. They are accepting it, and it's very interesting, like the questions they are raising regarding our economic policy and how we are going to conduct the law and order, how we are going to maintain the foreign policy. So I think the political understanding of the people are getting much better.
I see. Now, it's a rather a strange campaign this time, isn't it? Because we are still not certain which election will come first. We presume it is the presidential, but the date has not yet been set. But both elections will undoubtedly come together almost within about 3 months of each other. So you're in effect running two campaigns together, isn't it? You're preparing for the general election as well.
Now we expect two major elections within 6 months, definitely. But according to our calculation and according to our political understanding, observations, the presidential election will come first. According to the 1978 constitution, the presidential election should be held before October 16th, during
right.
the September 17th and October 16th, within 28 days. And we expect that the election commission will announce the presidential election at the third week of July. Actually, after 22nd of July, they have the right to announce the presidential election. So according to the presidential law, election law act, in the second week of August, the nomination will call. So we expect the presidential election first. But now, according to the constitution, president can dissolve the parliament any time. That's why some rumors, gossips are circulating that the president will dissolve the parliament in June 15th or the July 1st or just after the approval of such act. But we can plan our campaign according to the dates of the presidential election. We will expect the general election within 2 months after the presidential election. So our calculation is the both major elections will be finished before mid of December.
Now, it's one thing to campaign and win an election, but this time the people are under a lot of economic pressure and they are impatient for whatever party which wins to deliver on the promises. So you won't actually have a 5-year period to carry out a long-term plan. There will have to be very rapid adjustments to the economy and so on. What is your feeling about that?
Yes, as we all know that we are in a big crisis in the economic condition, and we are a bankrupt country, and now the total debt amount goes up to 91 billion US dollars. Half of them are foreign debt. So still the restructure process not finished. We can see some relief that we can't see now the queues for foods and shortage for drugs. Or I mean, we can have the power supply for 24 hours. That's true, but all depends on now in one thing that we are not paying the debt at the moment. If we are going to pay the debt, total and local and foreign, we have to pay nearly $6.5 to $7 billion per year. And somehow, according to this economic crisis, people voluntarily limit the consumption. So in that way, some of the imports are getting down. So that's why these are the two reasons for the economic relief of that we are facing now, we are experiencing now. But
in many ways it seems a false sense of security, isn't it?
Yes,
or stability.
yes. Actually, it's very temporary solution. We need strong, stable solution for this economic crisis. That's why our NPP economic policy is mainly based on the planned production economy. Production means goods and services both, not the production of goods only, goods and services. Especially we want to focus on the external market, export oriented production. That's why that's the base of our economic policy. The whole plan should be planned by the government, not the private sector or the small organizations, that the responsibility of planning the economy is totally goes to the government. You see that in India since 1951 they had the planning commission.
That's right.
Yes, in 2015 they have transformed it to the upgraded level, updated level. The planning commission converted to National Institute for Transforming India, NITI. So not only the central level but for the states level, they are planning the whole economy. The state and the central government, all the ministries are running according to the plan. So we need a strong plan, stable plan. That's why now at the moment we are dedicating our time to draft that plan. We are discussing with the experts, not only with the experts but also the laymen who are engaging in these sectors. We need that plan. Then to overcome this economic crisis, we need the suitable political culture. Otherwise, however the plan is superior, it won't implement in this country. The political culture is the number one.
But Dr. Nalinda, now it's lovely to have a plan, short term, mid term, long term and so on. But if your party does come into government, you will need to deliver rapid results, perhaps within 1 year, because there are a lot of people below the poverty line, jobs are scarce, cost of living is very high, rate of inflation of course has come down, but that is a rate of which is not, it's not the cost of living. So what relief are you all looking at immediately within 6 months or so? For example, taxation.
Yes.
What are you going to do about taxes?
Actually, I am not going to say that within 1 month or within 3 months we are going to increase the salary of the public sector, or we are going to submit an act to the parliament that to increase the salary in private sector. Our main focus is to increase the purchasing power of the people. In one sense that we are going to reduce the cost of living altogether. Right? So we have identified basically 4 sectors. One, we want to reduce the cost of foods and beverages. Then the health expenses. Third one is the education expenses. Fourth one is the electric tariff. So we are planning to reduce the burden of these 4 sectors: food, health, education and the electricity. Then actually we can increase the savings of the people and we can increase the purchasing power. Then we can activate the economy. Otherwise, now you know that for the steps the governments have taken in last 2.5 years, the economy contracted in
quite drastically.
Yes, drastically. So whatever they implement now, the result will come very slowly. So we have to rapidly activate the economy. That's why our focus is to reduce the expenses basically. We can do it. Let me say that actually the government should ensure the people that we are supply the continuous quality foods to the people. In that sense, we are going to subsidize not the consumers but the producers. For the farmers, fishermen and who are engaging in the livestock field. So we can subsidize them in various ways, by the equipments, as fertilizer subsidy. For the fishermen especially, we want to give their fuel subsidy, like that. Then we can reduce the cost of production, COP, and in meantime, if we are subsidizing, the government is subsidizing, then we can control the quality. I mean, we can ensure the quality. And meantime, there are certain institutions that they are responsible for the maintain the quality of goods and services to the people, like ITI, like NMRA, and SLSI. So our aim is to strengthen these institutions and ensure the quality consumption of the people.
Now you mentioned reducing the cost or the pricing of electricity, which is of course very welcome, because right now a lot of businesses simply can't afford to pay these electricity bills. Now in the same way, the cost of fuel, petrol and diesel, is also very high. Although now we have a lot of fuel, we don't have any queues, but the cost is very high. If you pump a full tank of petrol, anything 12,000 to 20,000 rupees, that's an enormous sum of money. But the cost, the pricing is high, significantly due to government taxation. Would you consider reducing the taxes on petrol and diesel?
Yes, but not at once. I mean, we basically focus in the electricity. That is why, according to the Department of Census and Statistics, you may see that over 100,000 institutions, maybe micro, small or medium level, they are producing something. Now they have collapsed.
Right.
Main reason is they can't bear with this electricity bill. This is high cost. So in 2023, the profit of CEB reported that it's more than 100 billion rupees, more than 100 billion, according to their reports. In September, they have reported to the PUCSL that their profit was 47 billion, but the amount exceeded that. Then, according to their reports, we can give the relief to the people by reducing the electricity bill, special to the industries. Then we can focus on the fuel. It has to handle very carefully, and I think,
of course,
because if we increase the consumption, then we have to pay more dollars to the outside.
Right.
That's why basically we are reducing the electricity bill. For the fuel, yes, we have to do it, but in a gradual way. Otherwise, we can't bear with the dollar need.
It can't be a shock.
Yes.
Right. Now you mentioned the micro, small and medium sectors, and that over 100,000 institutions have actually collapsed due to this. One other reason, apart from electricity, is of course the high interest rates. And 2 years ago the interest rates paid were 6%, 8%, something like that, and then they shot up to about 35%, and now they've come down, but they are still significantly high, and you don't see small and medium entrepreneurs going and borrowing money to set up new shops or offices or small factories. So clearly the interest rates are still too high. Would you be looking at reducing that?
That's why I said that in last 2 to 2.5 years, the policies of the central bank and government aims to contract the economy. That's why they put the high interest rate, and they put some import restrictions. But it's not the way, it's not the solution. Contracting economy is no more get the benefits of the people. So that's why I said we have to increase the purchase power of the people. So in that sense, we have to reduce certain taxes.
Right.
And we have to give some tax relief to the industry especially. Actually, we have to get some burden to the government. Otherwise, it's not nice and it's not good to say that people or the industrialists that you have to bear all the burden, because they are doing some businesses, they are doing industries, they are maintaining the farms that contribute to the economy of the country, right? So the Supreme Court already give the verdict that who are the responsible persons to this bankruptcy.
Yes.
In that sense, they didn't mention that the businessman or the industrialist contribute to the bankruptcy, all the politicians. So government should take the big responsibility to give the relief to the people. That's why we are going to reduce the tax rate. Our aim is to reactivate the production.
Right. Now, you spoke about this policy of contracting the economy, but of course, when the economy contracts, you don't have any new jobs, and as a result, millions of youngsters have left the country. I think something like 2 million over the last little over 2 years. So once the young people leave the country, it is the older ones who are left. So this then exacerbates our already aging population. So it's a very short-sighted sort of economic policy. So that clearly needs to be quickly turned around. Don't you agree?
Yeah. What I observed is President Ranil Wickremesinghe and the governor of the central bank, they focus only the economic factors. They are focused on the increase the revenue or the maybe not decrease the expenses, but only the economic indicators. But economy is strongly related with the social factors, what you said, that it relates with the job market, the living condition, the caring the elders, and maintaining their education and health facilities. So we, as a government or the politicians who are running the country, who are make decisions to the country, they consider this package whole together: economy, social, political, cultural, environmental, everything, holistic approach. So in that sense, we want to secure the professionals in the country. So the taxpayers paid a lot of money for last 2 to 3 decades to give them education, to give them local and foreign training, and we are paying salaries to them. Now this moment, at this critical situation, we need their service.
Right.
Our aim is not to expel them out of the country, not out of country, but to secure them in the country and give them some facilities and give the faith of their future. In general, I have to say that we have to protect them at this moment.
Right. But in this job creation, again, the key industry, which is construction,
Yeah.
which employs hundreds of thousands of people, has entirely collapsed. You hardly see even a house being built anywhere. There are few high-rise buildings still being constructed in Colombo, but otherwise the construction industry has pretty much ground to a halt, and the casual labor has been laid off. Once again, I believe it is the high interest rates which matter in this, and also of course government contracts. Now when you talk about the government, you have massive projects like the expressway, the Kadawatha to Mirigama stretch of the expressway was started, and then it just halfway through it was stopped, and now nothing is happening there. So such projects need to get going in order for this industry to blossom, to bloom.
Regarding the mega projects, actually we have to reanalyze them. Some projects we can't stop immediately. Actually, now we have spent a lot, then somehow we have to continue them. Others, when we talk about the constructions related to the ordinary people, the small and medium level of constructions, in one reason why they have stopped is, you see that we have 2.5 to 3 million expats, right? They are sending money not only to day-to-day activities for the foods and health or the education expenses. Earlier, they spent money for the constructions, for maybe the house or the small industries. Now you see that the remittance goes down to 500 million to less than 600 million per month. We have to open up it. If we want to get the boost of the construction field, we have to open up this remittance flow, right? It relates with the political faith and the stable planning of the economy. All are relate to each other. Right. That's why I say, if we are going to increase the purchasing power of the people, somehow decreasing the tax rates and giving some subsidies to the product producers, then we can open up, we can start up these small constructions, right? Meanwhile, the government should give some relief in tax base or some fiscal policies, but basically we have to increase the money circulation in the society.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, what about the Colombo Port City project? Now, the country spent an enormous amount of money on this, taxpayer money, and of course, this was, dredged up and from the ocean, and the land filling was done, and there has been some construction, but it has not met the potential that was expected of it. What would the NPP's policy be towards it, the Colombo Port City? Because my understanding is that the laws are still not properly in place to facilitate this what should be a marvelous city.
We have to handle it very carefully. It is not only a economic platform, but it relates to our foreign policy also, right? You see that now our foreign policy is not much favor to the country when we consider last 2-3 decades. We want to we need non-aligned foreign policy, yes, and we want to protect our sovereignty, and we want to maintain the good relation in every way with India. Otherwise, if we are harm these relations in any level, it will harm the country. I mean, we can't predict it.
Right.
So we want to maintain balanced foreign policy. Anyway, now port city projects, it's in the middle of the process, so we can't revoke it. Yes, we are ready to continue that project, but we will open it to not only to China but to other Asian countries and to the global investors. Otherwise, it will create not only the economic problem but the political problem. We are looking this project in this sense.
Right.
That's why I said
very good.
It's we have to handle very carefully. Previous governments done in what do you say that
very haphazard manner.
Yes, haphazard manner. So we have to clear it, but yes, it's very sensitive issue.
Right. Now you mentioned non-alignment, which of course was something in the 1960s, 70s, 80s that was very much perhaps in favor of countries like ours. But now with the resurgence of India, and India has become the regional power, it's not a very clear non-alignment anymore, is it? We do tend to now look at India as the larger partner in the region and of course the biggest market in the region for our products.
What we have observed now, they are going beyond the regional power. In up to 1990 or up to 2000, the India foreign policy is basically towards to maintain the regional power. That's why they send troops to certain countries. They put some sanctions, but now their aim is to become the global power. Now I think within 2 years they will grow their economy up to $5 trillion US dollars. They are coming to the third economic power in the world. According to Indian government, they expect Sri Lanka as a developed, peaceful country and good neighbor to India. So this situation is very much favor to our economic policy and our foreign policy. So we have to take much more benefits from the Indian market. They have growing middle class, more than 400 million population goes to the middle class. Now we have a chance to produce certain goods and services aiming the Indian middle class. We have to enter the Indian market, right? Considering that India is a good friend and is actually we are a close associate with Sri Lanka.
Right.
We can have loans, benefits from China, but it's certain far. Our closest friend is India. They have developed their technology to a very big level. They have marked achievements in IT sector in global wise. So I think in every ways we can have a good benefits, big benefits from India. So we want to maintain the strong relationship with India in economic, cultural, social, in many ways.
And obviously also investment from India to Sri Lanka.
Yes, not real economic investment, not the political investment.
Right. Now, one of the issues which investors face, investors from any country, is the limitations on the knowledge of what our policies are. Can I ask you, with regard to privatization, what is the policy of the NPP?
Privatization and engagement of the private sector, we are not against the privatization. We are not against the engagement of the private sector to increase the production or to maintain the stable economic growth. We need the big involvement of the private sector. Actually, the NPP's policy is the government should play a facilitating role in the economy, not engage in every sector in the economy. Actually, government can involve in certain ways, like we'll see that, especially the power and energy sector. We think that the government needs a strong hold for the education and health sector to give the benefits of the people, to give these education and health facilities to the people. Government should have the big portion of these sectors. In other sectors, we are very open to work with the private sector. We are facilitating them in various ways, like in supplying capital and transferring the know-how, the technology, and introducing the local and foreign market. Yes, that is the government role. And we ensure that NPP government should make, we will make level environment to the businessman.
Right.
We don't have selected people to support by the government. We will make the equal ground for the equal competition.
Now, Dr. Nalinda, there are some state institutions which are, it seems, completely unnecessary for the government to get involved in. The government is behaving like a business, and many of these are actually loss-making. So they don't provide much service to the people, except that there are sometimes hundreds or even thousands of employees whose salaries we are paying, and at the same time it's a big drain on the government revenue. What would you do about such institutions which clearly don't perform much of a fundamentally relevant service for the public?
NPP does not follow the economic policy of 1970 to 77, which Sirma Bandaranaike government implemented here.
It was nationalization.
Nationalization. After the Second World War, most of the countries in the world paid more attention in the nationalization and the maintaining the agriculture, industry and services by the government. But after 1975, the economy opened up everywhere, even in China, Vietnam, in Vietnam 1983, China 1978. Now the whole world is going in this way. But when we want to ensure the facilities or ensure the good services to the citizen, we want to maintain the government structure, state, the public sector. Otherwise, yes, this is, our economic policy is open, very correctly, right? We no, in this context, we don't see a closed economy anywhere. Where is it? Even in North Korea, they have opened up to China. In Venezuela, they are trying to connect with the world, even in Cuba. Our policies open the economy and working with all countries except they are in despite of their political ideologies. We need the USA and Europe as well as China and Russia. It's very open economic policy. Main focus is how we maintain the interest of the country, how we ensure the interest of the country.
Right. Now, at the same time, Dr. Nalinda, there are certain vital services which the government must provide, such as transportation. I'm talking about the bus transport, which is, of course, a combination of the state bus transport service and the private bus operators. And then you also have the train service, which is completely underdeveloped. The trains, the railways of Sri Lanka, 50 years ago we had a better service than we have today. It has simply not become modernized. What about the railways?
In transport sector, our policy is to strengthen the public transport, the train services as well the bus services. Public transport means, that doesn't mean that the every single rupee given by the government, but the regulation. If the government has strong regulation over the public transport, maybe that's enough. But we have to identify the suitable investors to that sector. That's a problem. Otherwise, if we identify them, that we can discuss and we can ensure the regulation part by the government, then at last we want to give a efficient, comfortable service to the people.
Right.
Either the government or the government regulated private sector. But I don't know that for the train services, can any investor invest such amount to the train services? That's why government has to get the burden of the train system. Then we have certain options. We can have foreign loans and the project can implement by the government. There are options, but we are open it. We are ready to talk with them. We want to ensure the strength of the public transport.
Excellent. Well, it's been a very enlightening sort of conversation that we have had, and I am afraid we have run out of time. My thanks to Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, National Executive Committee member of the NPP. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for coming and speaking to us and taking time off your busy schedule. And thank you very much to you at home for watching. Good night.